Hey guys, what's up? Just wanted to pop on here real quick. This is going to be a very quick one. I just wanted to come with you here on, what is today? Today is, what, the 11th, I think? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to wait on, I'm on a different computer, guys, so that's why I don't have an intro yet. I need to get my old intro sent over to this one. But yeah, my other computer was being stupid and acting crazy, so figured I'd just bring out this one and see if it works any better. Let me know if you guys got me there. Oh yeah, we got some people in here already. Okay. Good to see everybody. Hey Hopperson, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute. 210-3, alright. Catherine, what's happening? James, what's happening? Linda, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Robin, Virginia, 5x5 guys, awesome. I got a headset on too this time. Actually, guys, I got a green screen, so we got some stuff coming here on my channel. I'm going to up the production value. Hopefully, you guys will like it. Hey, the Recovery Channel, good to see you. Hey, Tab, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, James. Let me go ahead and just jump into this, okay, guys? Because this is just some significant stuff here. I haven't had to talk about this in like I'm getting ready to. This could cause us some issues, and you guys know I don't say that unless it's a real possibility. Now I'm not trying to scare anybody. I don't want anybody to be scared over this because there's no reason for that. There's just a chance that this one really could give us some issues. This is not a I don't want to call it not a grid down situation because I don't think that it is. Okay, it's just my opinion, and I'm sure you're going to get 1,000 opinions on this as the day progresses because there's some odd stuff around this one. This is a solar flare that did not act like we would typically think. Not the fact that it was a long duration one, because you guys see right here. We'll just pull this up. And forgive me if I have to keep going back to the chat here because my desk pin where I can pin to the top, I haven't did that on my new computer yet. I have to download an app and all that crap. But anyway, as you can see here, guys, it started here. Now, I've shown you guys long duration solar flares in the past, right? And this one isn't any longer than what I've shown you. Because it starts here and you see how it slowly tapers off. Now guys, I'm gonna tell you guys what these things are. Alright, because I've talked about these before. They're data dropouts because the line of sight, the satellite gets in a position it can't see what it normally would. Okay? And that happens in different seasons. We've talked about this. SDO has an eclipse season. Right? That's kind of what's going on here. Yeah, Michael, it's not really space weather, guys. That's a political conversation there, Michael. It's not that I wouldn't have that conversation. It's just that I want to get through this first. Then maybe we'll talk about that for a minute, because I do think it all plays together at some level. But anyway, as we're looking at this, these are data dropouts, guys. I don't go watch a whole lot of other channels anymore. I mean, I watch some of the ones that I've always trusted for good information, right? And it may not. It's going to be people you probably some people you probably think, why is Mark watching that jerk? Well, guys, because sometimes even when they're jerks, a lot of times those people are very intelligent, and that's why I can overlook it. It's not a big deal to me. It's not a personal thing for me anymore like it used to be. So if I can find good information anywhere, I will. I will say this. As I was making this video right here, getting ready, and I've been messing with this for almost an hour now, I seen somebody else as I was making this pop out here with the video on this already too. And it's a channel that doesn't usually post this late at night. Okay. I don't typically do that either, but the reason I bring that up is because you're going to get a lot of people talking about this. This is going to be space weather news for tomorrow. I promise you, or right now. And Keith texted me and said, "Hey, did you see that? We had a big solar flare." Now, I know we're looking at this. Thanks, by the way, Keith. But as you're looking at this, what do you got there? That's a C-class flare. Now, we all know that a C-class flare doesn't usually give us much of an issue. And there's some other rare things that's going on here. Yeah, something's coming our way for sure, Carol. There's no doubt about it. We're not dodging this one, guys. Okay? This is going to hit. It's just a matter of how it hits and how strong it's going to be. With our weakening magnetic field and all that. And I put in the title there, double tap, because we got a really good chance of a double tap here. And I've talked about that before, guys. Matter of fact, I think I talked about it over on Marfugal for a minute. In my opinion, and again, I'm not the only one that holds this opinion, but if you're going to get bigger geomagnetic activity with, having actual issues, most likely it's going to be a double or even sometimes even a triple tap. And what I mean by that is we're going to get hit with this. The solar flare, whatever X-ray we were going to get, is already here and gone. Okay? No doubt about it, right? And I can show you that just by showing you the absorption rate down here. Okay, now it does look as though we might be, seeing another little uptick in X-ray there. Because I think that wasn't like that. I think that's just a little bit more X-ray production, right? That's at the end of the strongest part of that flare. Okay, see how long this flare... Here, let me bring the chat back up real quick. Sorry. And I might have to do this quite often here during this stream. I apologize for that. But what you're going to notice, guys, you see how long that stays on there? Now, when we get the, boo, we get the big blast, the ones that are really, really strong flares, you'll get this uptick, right? But it doesn't typically stick around for that long, okay? If it does stick around, usually it's like a radiation storm, and you'll see those around the poles. But, okay, so this is, and again, this is just the absorption prediction. Now, again, this is, if you were just to look at this, you would think, man, what's he talking about? What is he talking about? That ain't nothing. A lot of people would say that. Now, I have to say this too. None of the tools have updated yet as far as the CME trackers. It's kind of in the time frame here where there's not a whole lot of people working at this hour, right? So, sometimes things get pushed off until morning. A lot of times they do. Unless there's some big massive whatever. But this is LASCO C3. Now, I show you guys C2 all the time. The red one. This is from our view. This is from SOHO. There's a satellite sits out in front of the Earth, always looking at the sun. You see this? Now this is a zoomed out version, right? So that's a full halo, guys. And it's not going off the backside. It's coming our direction. And so, you can't just look at one satellite and say that or anything like that. So what do? Well, you guys know what I do. Anybody that's been with me for a minute. I'm going to take you guys over here first, and I'm going to show you this one. Okay? This one here, the 304, guys, the eruption was here. There is no sunspot there. Okay, I talked about this in my other video, my last one, as a matter of fact, because there was an active area here that wasn't like a sunspot grouping, but I think it turned into one after the fact. We had a couple filament releases here, right? This is not a named sunspot. At least it wasn't a few minutes ago. Let me double check just to make sure I'm giving you the right information. Okay, they gave it a number. They finally gave it a number. It wasn't like that. I swear to God, it wasn't like that an hour ago, 2 hours ago maybe. Maybe they did, and maybe it just hadn't updated yet. Maybe I missed didn't see it, but you can tell how these other ones are a lot bigger. There wasn't really nothing there. Okay, anything of note, you would think it would be coming from these more complex regions up here, right? So if we go back here and we go look at the visible light, look, there's nothing there. This is what I'm trying to say. These are sunspots. So this is where it happened at. And this is what I told you guys from the beginning of my channel. You don't have to have a sunspot to have solar flares, filament releases, any of that. I've said it for so long now. You know, I'm about tired of hearing myself say it. Is the fact that the sun can do whatever the sun wants to do. All right, you know, and it will. And this is one of those things where it definitely is, right? But yeah. So again, so let me run this through here. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and we'll get you guys running here. I don't want to. Man, I wish I could have my chat up there. It really makes me upset. But anyway, yeah. I wonder if I can move that over to its own separate tab. Nah, I'm not gonna try it. Anyway, it's right here, guys. So I'm just gonna let this thing play, because you're not gonna notice a whole lot. And this is my point. If you were just to look at this one satellite, you wouldn't think anything was going on. Okay, it's right here. You guys see that right there? That's a long duration flare. And again, if that was on the side where the space was the background, this would probably look pretty impressive. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, this actually does move fairly quick. Now, something I noticed also is, as this one was doing its thing, watch over here. See that? That was another one. That was a pretty quick one. There's a bigger one right there at the end. You see that? Those are sizable eruptions, guys. Now, I'm not saying that those are, and I'm going to show you this one on stereo A, because whatever flew off the sun there flew off there with a quickness. Okay? And that's not coming our direction, so we ain't got to worry about that. But it was also small and, you know, pretty direct. It was, you know, just a small pattern there. It was really, really concentrated. So, anyway, let me, I'm just going to pause that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over. This is stereo A. This is our side view. Okay? Let me check the chat real quick. Is everybody okay in there right now? I can't read it right now. I just want you guys to see. Prove you're not a bot. That's an awesome name. I love that one. That's awesome. Occam's in here. Occam's Razor, baby. AIG Russ. Good to see everybody. Yep, Occam's Razor's in here. There you are. But yeah. Bunny's in here too. Miss Honeybee. Joanna. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Keith. 5 of 5. Good. Thanks, Keith. Okay, so anyway, as we're going to watch this one, you're going to see the big eruption over here on the right side for sure. But I caught something with my eye over here that, man, I've not seen things fly off the sun that fast that very often. Okay, so I'm just going to push play here. Actually, I'll just bring you guys back up here so I can. Okay, now this is not the one we're looking at today. This is on the 8th. And as we get going, matter of fact, guys, give me a second. Sorry, I'm going to speed this up. This is just moving too slow for me. It's we'll split it in the middle. How about that? Okay. So, again, that's the 7th. That actually didn't come towards us and went to our right. We might catch a glancing blow from that today. But, you know, even at that, I don't think it's going to give us very many issues. The only thing is if this other one gets here pretty quick, then yeah, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Now here's the big one. See that? Now I want you guys. I'm going to point it out here on the end. Actually, I'm just going to pause that, and I'm going to grab the slide bar because I want you guys to look over here. Let's see if I can't. Hate that. Okay, so alright, that's the eruption, the big one, okay? But look what happens over here. Watch where my cursor's at. See how fast that thing's moving? I mean, it's moving triple the speed of this long duration flare. Halo CME popping off there. Okay? I mean, that thing's moving fast. It was off the screen in less than an hour. Or right around an hour. I've not seen one like that very often. I've seen them before. And I don't think I've not seen one come at Earth like that. But, again, you know, it is what it is. Nothing we can do. But, okay. Hey, Bamboo, what's up? So, this is the eruption. Now, this is from Stereo A, okay? This is our side view. Alright? So, let me grab that again. And again, guys, you can see where this thing is not going to miss us. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. It's going to hit, but, you know, again, I get real timid of trying to predict or give somebody my opinion on what's going to happen when these things hit. Because we've been wrong so many times. And I don't want to be that person, right? But if there was ever one that I would say pay attention to, it's going to be this one. And the reason why is we're going to get that. That's going to... See how fast that went off camera? It says about... I don't know. It showed itself past the occulter here right around 1800 hours. And if we go here... So we've got... That's 4 hours. And the leading edge is already off the sun. Off the screen. Okay? Now, I was shown once how to calculate the speed of those things, and I forgot how to do it. There's some math there involved, and you have to be able to go to the right site and get the data. But, guys, that's moving pretty quick. Okay? I mean, it's not real quick, but it's quick enough. So, yeah. So, let's look at it on LASCO C2 here. This is from our viewpoint, right? Let me go ahead and I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna speed this one up too. How about that? And I will bring the chat back up. So yeah, again, guys, watch. You're gonna see it's gonna be a halo. It's gonna come all around the edges here. Let's see here. What word did I steal from you, Joanna? I ain't no thief now. Just kidding. So, right about there. See it? Okay, there's no dodging that one, guys. We're going to at least get hit with it somehow. We need all grids fried. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't think I want to be ready for that kind of stuff. That'd be bad news, man. Especially with the way the world is today, guys. Back at you, Joanna. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's what you're seeing, right? That's a Halo CME. That's what we got going on. There's not much more else to talk about on this one, guys. And I don't want to make this very long because I want people to watch it. And so let me tell you what I think here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay on this screen here. Okay? You see this? That's a coronal hole. And you guys have heard me talk about double taps before. So we got this. Now see, if you were just to look at this one here, watch. Did that look impressive at all? Probably look at more than one thing. You get so many people out there grabbing one thing and running with it, and they'll make something that isn't that big of a deal a big deal, and then they'll miss the things that are big deals. You know, don't get me wrong, I've made the same mistakes. Okay, I'm not here trying to judge or laugh at anybody, but be cautious of those that want to come out here and just start screaming into the world. Okay? You know, I think what's going on geopolitically right now has got a better chance of doing those kinds of things than what we got going on right here. I will say that 100%. Now, you get both of them at the same time, and this is what I was going to talk about here at the end of the stream, because, listen, there would be no worse time to have some kind of a big space event, and I'm not saying that this one's it, okay, because I don't think that it is. I think this is significant. I think that we'll probably see some stuff with this. They may have to start steering satellites a little bit more again, because, you know, we've talked about that before, and I'm not going to go into detail on that, but that's, you know, with all, you remember the Starlink stuff that fell out of the sky, and because of the time that it launched, and that was a small G1 storm. So we know that those things can happen if it's at that, you know, that Cinderella moment. But with this one, we're going to get that CME right there, this halo. Okay, right there. We're going to get hit with that, and then we got this coronal hole on its butt. Okay, so, and it's not that big. Okay, that's a good thing. This coronal hole is not that large, but make no mistake, it's rotating right in front of Earth, so we will connect to that. And what I'm saying here is, if we get hit with this halo here, this CME right here, we'll look at it on this one too, this stereo AR side view. Okay, we get hit with that, and then we get this coronal hole stream right behind it a day or two later. That's called a double tap. And if you go look at any kind of research at all, you know, I'm talking like textbook stuff, they will talk about this. And this is when our magnetic field doesn't have enough time to get back to its original strength, and then we get hit again. So, you know, and you probably heard people say, maybe not a whole lot, but there are people out there that say it, because I've said it, that just because it's a large X flare or something like that, or a big huge CME, doesn't mean that it's going to take us out. Okay, in my opinion, what will happen when we see those kinds of situations, it will be a hit and then a second hit behind it that probably isn't as big as the first. Okay, and the reason being is because our magnetic field's still trying to recover from the first initial hit. So what I'm saying is, even though you might have two smaller CMEs versus one big one, the two smaller ones, in my opinion, if they're close enough together, you could have more of an issue, right? And again, I'm not saying we're going to have any issue with this. I think we'll see some stuff happen. I don't think it's grid down stuff, okay? So I'm not saying that. Don't anybody think I'm saying that, okay? You make up your own mind on what you think, right? I'm just telling you that's my opinion. And so if we go over here and we look at this as far as KP level and geomagnetic storm level, all right, this is where it gets a little tricky, okay? I think on the, man, if I had to guess, this is probably going to come in at right around between a 6 maybe a 7. I guess there's an outside chance, maybe an 8 on the KP. If we get to that 8, I think it's going to come from, or even the 7, I think it's going to come from the second hit, if we get that second hit. Understand that. I'm saying if, right? But I want you guys to be aware, because this is something that most people wouldn't even have went further when they looked at the one satellite image. You see this right here on the X-ray flux? Most people aren't even going to really pay much attention to that, unless you really understand what we're trying to look at here. And that's why I try to explain it to you guys. You know, most people come on here and they'll be like, oh my gosh, an M or an X class flare, and it looks like this right here, but going the other direction, right? That's a big, fast, hard blow. This is not. This is a long duration flare that produced a CME with it. And so that's what we're looking at. So you guys take it for what it's worth. And again, guys, I'm just showing it to you because I told you I'd come out and tell you if something was going on. Now, this is NOAA's version of the spiral. When was it updated? Yeah, it was updated before this flare happened. Okay? So this is not from that flare. You know what I think that's from? I think it's from that coronal hole. I think this model's picking up that coronal hole right there. Just saying. Okay? So, again, if I had to guess when this thing gets here, it would probably be, I don't know what is, today's the 10th, right? Right around the 11th. It's going to be between 2 or 3 days before this CME part gets here. And then it's probably a day, maybe 2 behind, you'll see the coronal hole stream hit. And that would add up for right here for the coronal hole stream. My guess is once this thing updates, you're going to see another hump here. Okay? And it's just a guess. You know, I've looked at these things a lot. Not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that that's what I'm seeing. From what I look at. And again, guys, I really truly do think. And again, remember this right here is just their forecasting. That has not been updated yet tonight. It's been like that for hours now. So, and it's also been my experience here, guys, that when we see stuff like this, you're going to see like NOAA and NASA and everybody else. They're going to make sure what I'm saying is you're probably going to get their initial reports a little bit later than what you would have on a normal basis, because they're going to like really analyze this before they start blasting it out. Okay. Oh, okay. Cinderella moment. Yeah. Yeah. I'm late. Going to rewind. Hey, Gone Girl. How you doing? Carol, what's happening? Menacing. All right. Yeah, menacing. Yeah, it's I did see that. To kill. Yep, stay hydrated. Have to. You got something going on, do you, Carol? What you got? Yeah. Guys, listen. Space weather affects us physically and mentally. I don't care what anybody says. Rip, you're killing me, brother. Like I said, guys, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now if I didn't think this was significant. Okay? I do think this is significant. You're going to see a lot of reporting on this today. I promise you. Okay? And I would suggest that you watch every stinking thing you can watch on it. You guys are smart. You guys can make up your mind on what you think is going to happen. I'm not going to tell you that. I just gave you my opinion. And I can be wrong. So that's why. That's why I don't do that. I don't want, you know, I'm not going to be the one that comes out here and starts screaming the sky's falling, you know, crying wolf. And then when it's time for like situations we're talking about right now, when it's time that, hey, maybe we really do need to pay attention this time, like more so than normal, hopefully people will listen. I hope. And again, like I said, guys, if we're looking at a 7 or a 8 on the KP, and this is high end on this situation, okay, what would we be looking at? Well, we would be looking at, oh, my bad, guys, sorry, went the wrong way. A G3 storm, and yes, you can have satellite issues with that, okay? On a normal basis, you would have satellite, corrections, where they have to, because what happens is the particles are there, so it increases drag. So that basically they start falling out of orbit. Then they got to shoot them back up in there. They got to steer them back. That's all. Yeah, it's yeah, Rip. Thank you for that, though, man. I appreciate you. That's right. Exactly. Always. Does it warrant a 10 hat? No. Not even close. Again, guys, if I thought at any time that this was going to be some sort of grid down situation, I would say that. Okay? And I'm serious. And just know that I'm very reserved on if I'm going to jump out there and say anything like that, for the same reason I just said. But I promise you're going to get somebody out there that's going to say that this is causing the end of everything, right? And this is something that we're probably going to see 5 or 6 times in the next 2 or 3 years. We're going to see big ones like this, if not more than that. Most of us haven't been watching space weather that long, right? I bet if you guys think about when you started watching this stuff like we are now, you can't remember back to solar cycle 24 during solar maximum back then, because you weren't even looking at this stuff yet. I know I wasn't. So I had to wrap my brain around the fact that some of this stuff, most of it, is stuff that we expect to happen. But even though we expect it to happen, does not mean that our magnetic field is weakening. It definitely is. That's a fact. Nobody denies that. Mainstream doesn't deny it. Alternative stations don't deny it. Nobody denies that fact. Everybody just says, hey, this is that, this is there, and everybody's giving their opinions, right? And at the end of the day, guys, that's what it is. It can be a highly educated opinion, and yes, I would trust more others, some more than others, all right? But you got to figure that out for yourself, who you're going to trust, okay? I'm not going to tell you any of that, because again, I can be wrong, and I don't tell people what to think or how to think. I just show you what I see, and I hope you guys grab it and at least go research it for yourself. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. I need something to drink. Oh, crap. Man, that was oh my gosh, guys. I about had a catastrophe. About had a CME in my house. About knocked my freaking can of pop onto my... I about had a grid down here at my house. I about knocked that can of pop on my surge protector. "40 degrees tilt happened way quicker than anticipated." Not sure what you mean by that. Not sure what you mean by that one. If you're talking about Earth tilt, or are you talking about magnetic field tilt? Yeah, gone girl for sure. Yeah, I was. I tell you, that scared me for a second. I really did. I turned around, I hit that. All Dillards. Okay. Yeah, I've talked about that on my opinion on that before, Dillards. You understand that if the axis of the Earth had tilted, because it's supposed to be 23.4 or 5 degrees, if the geographical tilt had tilted that far, 15 degrees is what you're talking about there. The amount of daylight every day, not just one day, every day would be drastically off for everybody in this world. And there's other things that happens with that too. We've got sundials that are all over the planet that have been here for 1,000 years. They all still work. If we tilt like that, those sundials will not work. Just saying. And also there's hotels and tourist industries that run their whole business off of the fact that you get 24-hour, they call it the midnight sun. And it's based on that tilt that you're talking about. And it's just and again, guys, this is just through my own research. You know, I'm sure he has his reasons for believing that. I mean, I'm not questioning him. I'm just saying, for me, that's what, you know, those kinds of things would have to be answered for me to jump into something like that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, tinfoil. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm telling you guys. I mean, yeah, I get you, Dillard. No, and here's the other thing, guys. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna throw this one out to you too. And we're talking about like Earth tilt, and I'm gonna end it here because I'm not gonna, you know, again, I respect everybody's opinion. I really do. And I know that there's a lot of research and stuff on a lot of what we're talking about right now. I get it. But the fact still remains that all those things I just said, nobody has ever given me an answer for that. And the reason why is because they can't. There is no answer for that. And that's kind of what I'm saying. So, say this. Just listen to me here. If we're talking about just the 15 degrees, like to a 40 degree, like Dillard was talking about a minute ago. If you lived at 5 degrees north, right? And we tilted 15 degrees, where does that put you? That puts you 10 degrees south. You know what that does? There will be stars that you could see that you will no longer be able to see because the Earth would be blocking it. If you're in the northern hemisphere, we get to see Polaris, right? Even if you're at 5 degrees north, you see Polaris. You go 5 degrees south, you no longer see Polaris. So what I'm saying is, if we tilted like that, there would be everybody, they wouldn't be able to look up at the sky and see Polaris. All those people that lived in that area. Just saying. And again, guys, if somebody's got answers for that, I would be more than happy to listen. I mean, because I'll... You know, and I'm being serious there, guys. I don't take anybody's research or any of that for granted. I think everybody really tries. I really do. But as I did my research, that's the kind of things that I was seeing. And, excuse me, but Polaris don't move in any season. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I mean, I can tell you what's making that happen. You're talking about a magnetic tilt there, Dillard. I'm talking about a geographic axis tilt. When you're talking about our magnetic field tilting, that's a whole different thing. Because it is well-known science that magnetics is really how these animals navigate. And we're seeing more. There's more and more papers every day on that. So, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. You know, and if you're thinking about really what's going on there, if we move that fast, that quick, there's just so many things that change. Yeah, it's going to change again, too, tinfoil, because of, well, I don't even want to get in this subject. It's called wobble. And I know people, they hear that word wobble, but they get the definition wrong. Okay? Wobble is, I think it's a 46,000 year cycle where our North Pole just kind of wobbles a little bit. Not really North Pole, the axis wobbles a little bit. And, you know, again, guys, do your own research on any of that. Don't listen to the word I'm saying. Go look. Go look for yourself. And wherever you fall is where you fall. I ain't mad at anybody. I'm really not. And that's really where I'm at. Yeah, guys, I mean, there's so many things that would happen if we tilted really quick. You know, you guys got to kind of think about it this way, too. 70% of this planet is water. And that water is on our planet, right? So if you go jerking on that, what's going to happen? You know, and you can't point to like 1 or 2 beaches receding, because if we did something like that, every beach would recede. Okay? And that's kind of what I'm saying. Not only would it recede, but when it started going back to normal, it would all be sloshing around. Then what happens? Then you're talking big tsunamis. And I mean, there's so many things that would happen, guys. And these are all questions I've asked people that research this, and nobody can give me any answers on it. The biggest thing for me is the fact that every day I get up, okay? If you go pick up a Farmer's Almanac from 1920, right? A physical book that nobody can change or mess with, right? You look at it, it's going to tell you that what time the sun rises and what time the sun sets. What does that give you? That gives you the amount of daylight hours you've seen that day. If you take that exact amount of hours, today's the 10th of March, go look at a Farmer's Almanac from 1945 or 1960 on the 10th of March. See how many daylight hours there were, and then compare it to what you've seen today. Because it would not be the same if we tilted. Just saying. Menacing, I'm going to hold my opinion on that, okay? Out of respect. I don't like to... I can tell you, I don't agree with that. I'll just put it to you that way. It's just my opinion, right? And again, my opinion. That's it. I mean, it really is. That's really all the further I'm going to go with that, because, yeah, here's the thing, though, too, guys. You know, when you see, like, dates, okay? When you see a date, somebody says this is going to happen on a specific day, or gives you a time frame. If you look at everything else before that, these same people were saying dates earlier. Okay? And it's not just one person. I'm not saying anything about this particular person you've got there, right? But they keep moving the goalposts back. And the reason why is because they're wrong. They were wrong about their dates that they said before. There's no arguing that. So they come up with new dates, and they come up with reasons why the new dates are there. You know what I mean? And And just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to hear me ever come out here and say, hey, this is going to happen on this day. Because there's just no, I don't know. I just don't think it's a good practice to do that. That's all. Because it does discredit you when you're wrong. And the only time that you're right when you do stuff like that is one time. Because the second you're right, then we all got problems. Yeah, for sure, Dillard. I agree with that. It says no day or hour, but we can say, we can know the season. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just not, I'm not confident in myself enough to hang my hat on one specific thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I really try to respect everybody's ability to have their own opinion, and I never force mine onto anybody. And I'm not getting that from the chat here, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I get really timid when I talk about stuff like this because sometimes I make people mad, and I don't mean to. I really don't. Yeah, tinfoil. I mean, that's an interesting thing. But the thing of it is, I don't know. You would have to have a a lot of pictures. Let me just say this, okay? If we were gonna talk about something like that, like something changed with the tilt, right? It's gonna change for everybody. And I'm not going to have to come out here and tell you that because the whole world will know it. If something like that happens, there's not going to be, you're not going to have to wonder. It's going to be so obvious. Like I said, the amount of daylight hours, nobody can ever explain that to me. The amount of daylight hours would change. There's no way around it. The fact that we are tilted is the very reason we have different amount of daylight hours throughout the year. It's like our axis is pointed, right? It stays pointed the same direction, no matter what side of the sun you're on. And what I was saying earlier about the 24 hours of daylight, you get that in the Arctic Circle, right? If you tilt it down 15 more degrees or whatever else, or whatever degree you're talking about here, it would, and not anybody, I'm just saying in general when we talk about this conversation, what would happen is now you're going to have people that did see 24 hours of daylight no longer do. And you're going to see people that didn't, now they do. But you don't see anybody. Nobody can prove it. And it wouldn't be hard to prove. Yeah, I mean, the skies can change, like I said. Yeah, for sure. I get that. I get that, Missing, for real. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that can be happening. And I'm not saying that things aren't happening. I'm just saying when we're talking about drastic, like massive tilt, I mean geographic tilt. I'm not talking about, hey Ron, what's up? How you doing, bud? When you see those kinds of things, I mean those are questions that you need to ask. Nobody can explain it to me. That's why we're not seeing that. I mean, seriously. And that's the other thing. Nobody can tell me how come all of the sundials still work, and they've been here for over 1,000 years. Look up how a sundial works. It's based off a shadow, right? I mean, kind of crazy. Miss Honeybee, what's up? Sugar Bee, what's happening? Golden Finch, may you speak? Oh, of course you can. There is no opinion here that's not allowed. Okay? I don't do that. I respect you guys. I really do. I mean, honestly, I really do. And that's what I'm saying. I respect people from all sides. Mark Tolson, what's up? And again, exactly. Thoughts to ponder. One day is 1,000 years heaven. And yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying Zuya. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. No, the shadow would be there. It would just be pointed a different direction. For a sundial to work, it has to have the same exact shadow in that position consistently. And they know on each day where the shadow should be pointed. And if we tilted like that, all of that would change. All of it. But none of it has, guys. That's what I'm saying. Every sundial works. Also, guys, I know we have a lot of preppers here on my channel. Grab yourself a bushcraft book. Leave your GPS in the car. Go out to the woods somewhere and find your way back using that book. You know how they do it? They do it by looking at the stars. Why am I bringing that up? Because they would be completely lost if we tilted like that. They would never find their way back. Ships had the same issue. Guys, they did. Ships had the same issue back. You know, why do we go off of general means time, right? Greenwich time? You know why? If anybody's ever looked this up, because the sailors back then, they were afraid to go so far off of land that they couldn't make their way back if they lost sight of it. So what they did was, and believe it or not, they actually called these people computers. They were women and children that would make calculations of where the stars were on each day from Greenwich, England. So if you know where it's supposed to be, right? So you get in your boat, and if you get a sextant tool, I'm not going to go into what that is, but you guys can, it's easy to find. They know what position a star is supposed to be in Greenwich, England, every day of the year. So the sailors and the captains, they would have these big log books. So they could tell with the sextant tool the angle of difference, comparing off of the Greenwich computer tools, right? So what that means is that if we had tilted, you could no longer use the Greenwich logbooks. But guess what? They still work. It all still works. and that's just kind of what I'm saying, guys. Hey, Golden Finch, how are you? My bad. It's just, yeah, guys. I mean, there's questions that I have. I'm not saying that I know everything at all. I'm not saying I can't be wrong. It's just when I have a question like that, I want somebody to tell me where I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah, Missing. Yep. Nothing new under the sun, Ted? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, Katniss. Yep, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you there, actually, Ebenezer. I mean, none of us can know all of it. There ain't no way. That's cool. That's cool, Golden. For real. Yeah, but the thing, here's the thing, Tinfoil, what you're talking about there with that they had to go back and find magnetic north, not geographic north. It's two totally different things. They use that. They use magnetic north to line up the runways, right? They don't use geographic north. And that's a common, if you don't know that, that's a common misconception. The magnetic north and geographic north are two totally different things. Yeah, for real. Check out Tamantha Sco's channel, guys. She's called the Space Weather Woman. I don't know her personally, but she's got a lot of good stuff over there. No, grid's not going down, Batman. Not that I think. I don't think it is. No, Zuba, here. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys this one more time. I wasn't going to have this stream this long. Matter of fact, I may end up chopping it up or something because people don't want to watch when it goes long. How long have we been going? Oh my gosh, almost an hour. Yeah. I may end up cutting this and just redoing it. I don't know. This just happened a couple hours ago. For those that missed it, this is stereo A. There's a long duration flare with the big halo CME. That's not off the backside. That's coming off. That's coming at Earth. This is the same thing, but from our point of view, halo CME right there. Okay, so that's coming at us, guys. Yeah. We're not going to miss that one. Whatever it does is what it does. I can't say for sure, but you're right about the backside eruptions. Okay. Dead serious. When does it get here? Probably in between, judging by what I can tell, 3 days, maybe a little sooner, maybe. And then there's a coronal hole, a small one that's right behind it, and we're going to get we should get an uptick in solar wind from that, and that's why I called it a double tap situation. And it's kind of I don't know, in my opinion, that can give us more of an issue. Oh man. Monday, yeah. Sunday, Monday, I would say. Somebody's asking for an interview? Golden Finch, hey, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, haven't done an interview in a long time here. Biting your tongue? I get a lot of that myself, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I get back to a more normal schedule, Golden Finch, I'm part of another channel called the Lifeboat, and it's a drug recovery channel. It's a group. Basically, it's a online group. We're growing that channel right now. I'm really passionate about it. We're helping people. We're getting people help, and it really is. It's important to me because I fought the pill addiction for, I don't know, 5 or 6. Well, it's about 8 years, and I've been in recovery for 10 years now, almost 11. Lucky enough, I had a family that loved me, and I've never relapsed. So, not to say that I hold any judgment of the people that do, because I definitely, actually, I feel the opposite. I really feel for them. I do. It's just, it's one of those things. Tell you what, though, guys, let's do this real quick. Let's go here. We did some interview. We did. It's funny you said that, because we did an interview over there today with a guy that. Let me go here. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to blast you out there. We did an interview with the guy that was in a bar, and he fought addiction too. His name's Jeffrey. There he is, right there. That's Captain Tommy. That's my partner over there. If you guys, Jeffrey here actually had a life sentence. He didn't. He got in a fight in a bar, hit a man with a pool cue, and he wasn't even trying to hit that man, and the man died. So he ended up getting a life sentence, but he got out in like 13 years, the way I understand it. We did an interview over here with Jeff. He's a great guy. And let me tell you something about him. He turned his life around, man. I mean, the man is awesome. I mean, he's got kids, a wife, good job. So yeah, go over and check this out, guys. What I'll do, let me just hit this right here. Copy that. Alright, I'm going to put it in the chat here, guys, okay? Just do me a favor. I asked this when I really am passionate about people's channel. Go over there and give us a look. There's the link right there. Subscribe up and check it out. You don't like it, just unsubscribe and do whatever. I mean, I just want people to see it, especially if you guys are fighting addiction, or if you know family members that are. I'm not ready for you. Who's B? Who's B? Golden Finch. Just wondering. Yeah, Nick, I think Tamitha does a really good job. You don't Miss Honeybee? Oh, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, you guys are killing me in there. Love it. You don't think God's ready for you? Is that what you were saying? Yeah. I think I'm with you. Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. Oh, man. Awesome. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thanks for stopping in. I know it's been late, and I know I hadn't been here on a consistent basis, but this did happen, so I wanted to bring it out to you. But yeah, guys, please come up. Just do me a favor. Just come check it out. That's all I ask over on Lifeboat. Just check out some of the stuff. We did some really good interviews. This was a great one too. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we've actually had drug dealers. Well, Rip was over there. Rip did an interview. Got one of the highest view counts on our whole channel. Rip came over there and did an interview. Go check it out. Go check out Rip too. Back at you, Keith. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and kill it. I already destroyed the 30-minute time limit I was giving myself, like I always do. But it is what it is. So anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.